Who wins when the Scarface Predator from Predator Concrete Jungle faces off against the Dark Predator from Aliens vs Predator? In the red corner we have Scarface, also known as the New Way Devil, a predator from the Dark Blade clan who hunted gangsters in New Way City in the year 1930. He defeated Bruno Borgia, the leader of the city's largest and most influential crime family, but after a critical error of judgement was injured and left behind technology for the humans to find, and even worse, he survived the exposure. After being banished to a remote hostile world for 100 years, Scarface was offered a chance for redemption and returned to New Way City, now renamed Neonopolis, to fix the mistakes of his past. Scarface was a very accomplished Yautja by the end of his story, destroying the dynasty who had stolen his technology along with their many twisted creations, including cyborg warriors, bad blood predators, xenomorphs, and a predator-human hybrid. His weapons and equipment include a biomask, cloaking device, wrist gauntlets, body armour, medicomp, wrist blades, plasma caster, smart disc, spear gun, mines, combi stick, glaive, and a maul. Strengths. Scarface was incredibly strong, agile, and intelligent. He defeated some of the strongest opponents a Yautja has ever been seen to go up against, and survived. He had a large number of powerful weapons and wore heavy body armour for protection. Weaknesses. Scarface was overconfident and arrogant, leading to his initial downfall. And in the blue corner we have Dark, a predator from the Elite clan. He was dispatched to BG-386, a Weyland-Yutani colonised planet, to investigate a group of youngbloods who had gone missing. Dark discovered they had been wiped out by Xenomorphs and that a Pred alien was also present. He tracked the abomination and defeated many Xenomorphs, colonial marines, and synthetics. When he confronted the Pred alien, he was victorious. Dark quickly became one of the most respected warriors of the Elite clan at the end of the game. He killed dozens of Xenomorphs, heavily armed marines, and combat synthetics, and finally a Pred alien, and lived to tell the tale. He was descended from the Lord Predator, an ancient who was the first hunter to ever kill a Xenomorph. Dark's weapons and equipment include a biomask, cloak, health shards, gauntlets with wrist blades on both arms, a plasma caster, smart disc, combi stick, and proximity mines. Strengths. Dark was seen to defeat a Pred alien in combat and survived, something even the Wolf Predator failed to do. While not as large as Scarface is, he also has an impressive loadout of advanced weapons. Weaknesses. In comparison to his opponent here, he has slightly less impressive weapons and armour. Both predators here are excellent melee and ranged fighters, and both survived their stories. Both are incredibly powerful warriors and have defeated waves of armed soldiers and a hive's worth of Xenomorphs. So this battle will be broken down into two encounters, a melee fight and a ranged one. If we look at both predators, they seem fairly equal in strength, but I think Scarface would just have the edge, as he is slightly larger and was seen doing stuff like ripping humans in half with his bare hands, whereas we do see Dark doing similar kills with his executions that he does, but he mostly uses his wrist blades to do them. Adding to this, I would say Scarface outclasses Dark with melee weapons, as he has more of them. Dark does have dual wrist blades, but Scarface has a maul, which is a devastating weapon, and he can do attacks dual wielding it with his wrist blades. He also has a glaive, which Dark lacks. Overall, Scarface has a total of 4 melee weapons, whereas Dark had 2, or 3 if you count his dual wrist blades as 2 weapons. I am including his combi stick as a melee weapon here, as he does only throw it in game, but traditionally in Predator lore the weapon is primarily a melee weapon. Scarface is also the more experienced, as he had been hunting for well over 100 years, whereas in the tutorial in AVP 2010 when we play as Dark, we know he is a youngblood at the start, then becomes an elite right before he begins his journey to BG-386. And to top it off, Scarface is more heavily armoured than Dark is, so he is better protected from attacks. So I would say the melee fight goes to Scarface. And then in round 2, the ranged fight, both predators are really good with their ranged weapons. Scarface has a plasma caster, smart disc and spear gun, and Dark also has a plasma caster and smart disc, and also uses his combi stick as a throwing weapon, so they are pretty fairly evenly matched here. Dark's plasma caster was pretty basic, equivalent to the one Scarface starts with, but Scarface's fully upgraded version is superior. Also, Dark had a similar smart disc to Scarface's fully upgraded Dark Blade Clan variant. The main difference was that Scarface's was auto-targeting, whereas Dark's was aimed manually. Scarface had a spear gun which Dark did not, and then Dark used his combi stick as a throwing weapon which did incredible damage and would kill pretty much any non-boss enemy with a single hit, but Scarface didn't throw his combi stick. So when it comes to ranged weapons, I would say it's a draw. I can't really go into the two Predators' hunting styles or behaviour or anything like that, as being from games, they are both player controlled. So while it is a close call, the Scarface Predator from Concrete Jungle has the edge due to his extra melee weapons and his extra armour, and is the winner. Let me know who you think would win in this encounter. Do you agree with my findings, or do you think it would go differently? Also remember to leave a like on the video for all the time and effort it took to make it. Then if you didn't know already, I actually do have playthroughs of both the games which I'll have a link to on screen for you to check out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.